I've noticed that I have indentations, dents in and around my joints that I never had before, my knees, elbows, knuckles. It feels like I'm losing the muscle around those areas. There is no pain to speak of, but I just feel bony, for lack of a better term. Also, I notice that when I wake up sometimes I have these indented lines on my arms going up my shoulder, kinda like when you lay on something for a long time, but I've slept in the same position before and never had them before.
Hello, do you think that there is generalized swelling of the joints that is causing the indentations? Are experiencing any symptoms of fatigue, fever, weight loss, rash, chest pain, shortness of breath? How old are you? Gender? Medical problems? Medications? OTC medications?
31 male. No major medical problems, not on any medications when it all started, but the last week my doctor put me on anti-anxiety medication. Is there a such thing as a condition that would explain this? This all started around Christmas time. Some of the first symptoms were cold hands, numbness in my pinky and ring finger, first in left, then it moved to right. Then I started to feel my pulse throughout my body, feet, stomach, arms, and if I cross my fingers and my hands I feel it too. Ask more questions if that will help.
Sorry for the delay. The only thing I am wondering about is whether this is a reflection of a condition that causes diffuse arthritis. Is there a family history of any systemic diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or other autoimmune diseases?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay. If you have no pain in those areas you mentioned and no other physical symptoms, it is unlikely to be anything serious. Oh, last question. Do you have any weakness in the muscles surrounding the joints?
Not really, but I have been experiencing muscle spasms in those areas starting about 3 weeks ago, if that helps any. Though I've not been diagnosed with depression, I feel that I have been depressed for the last 3 years. Can depression actually cause physical illness such as this?
Where are your muscle spasms usually located? This can sometimes be related to spinal root impingement, which could have an effect on the look of joints if there is spasm. The only problem with that assumption is that you said you don't have any pain, which is typical for spinal root or any pinched nerve.
No, there isn't any pain, just looking at them. Knees, elbows, knuckles, they look smaller than I remember. That said, I am 5'9" and weigh only 135 pounds and have been the same weight for the last 10 years or so I am pretty skinny, but just not that skinny, you know. If I did have one of those conditions you mentioned, would feeling your pulse throughout your be a symptom? 'Cause that's been happening the longest of any of the symptoms?
No. The conditions I mentioned are what are referred to as systemic illnesses and usually give symptoms of pain in multiple areas, fatigue, swelling, fever, among others. Just feeling your pulse without anything else would not be enough to say something is wrong. Sometimes we can feel our own pulse, especially when the blood pressure is elevated. Other conditions that can make the pulse stronger will be felt. Overall, I don't think, to the limits of trying to make a diagnosis remotely, there is anything serious going on. Obviously, a thorough physical exam coupled with other tests as indicated are much effective. I hope I have been of some help to you. If so, please feel free to click on accept to let me know.
If you have a health question and want to chat with a doctor now, visit justanswer.com/ythealth.